Hello everybody, I would like to introduce you to the new PingTool. PingTool is a free software that can be downloaded from pingtool.com, for example. It is a portable tool, so it does not need to be installed. As the name suggests, you can use PingTool to ping network devices and virtual machines or anything that has an IP address. You then get the results, including the response time, displayed in the list, or a red object if the device does not respond. I would like to make sure that one device does not respond. It then looks like this. The ping interval, that's how often the ping is performed, can be set here at the top from 1 second to 2 minutes. Default is 2 seconds. But the ping tool can do much more. It has many new functions in the new version 4.0. The most important new feature, in my opinion, is that you can now also check TCP ports. Every server, router, or PC provides TCP ports. A web server, for example, port 443, or a terminal server, port 3389. I can simply enter the TCP port and it is then checked like the ping. If, for example, I want to check the Berlin router for SSH, I simply enter port 22 and then it is checked in the same way as the ping. I can open and save configurations, that's the list of objects, and even merge them together in the new version. The basic question is, of course, how do I get the objects in my list? I can add objects manually, as we've just seen. I can scan IP address ranges or work with variable host names if I have PCs or printers that are numbered in sequence. I can also import objects from Excel or a text file. To do this, I simply take the data to the clipboard, press Ctrl V, that's a text file, click on import, and the objects are visible. I can perform many actions on the objects using the right mouse button, even on multiple objects at the same time. For example, a command line ping, a command line port check. I can create a ping monitor to be notified of status changes, or use the port check tool to take a very detailed look at the object. For example, the important ports that I can define myself. There are some administrative actions such as RTP, HTTP, or PuTTY on the objects. I can wake up computers via Wake-on-Lan, shut down computers if I have the right to do so, clone objects, and, very interestingly, the real-time log, especially for the object that is currently selected, with a complete list of what happened to the device and when. However, there are sometimes other actions that would be desirable. Perhaps you want to administer devices with your favorite software or execute very specific commands on objects. To do this, you can define your own actions in the settings, which then appear in the context menu when you right-click. For example, a jumbo ping is specified here, which sends 5,000 bytes instead of 32 bytes. And if I activate it, it is available in the context menu. I can create snapshots either regularly or once. I can view the snapshots for subsequent analysis. And in the next PingTool version, there will also be a snapshot viewer. I can filter objects to display only those that are of interest for me at the moment. For example, I'm only interested in the routers. I also have the option of specifying an OR operation. If I only want to see the routers and the switches, that's how I can do it. All failures and status changes are logged automatically in order to analyze it afterwards. The logging is switched on by default and cannot be switched off. The small extra button provides a real-time log that shows me the latest entries here below at all times. A very useful new feature is the dashboard. This is a simplified version of what you can see here. The dashboard has been specially developed to keep track of non-answering objects even under difficult conditions, for example in the data center or in some network rooms where my notebook is maybe 5 meters away. In addition to the sound, which I can switch on here, I also have a good overview of all failed devices. The nice thing is that the font is automatically scaling so that I can see everything clearly even from a distance. I can send emails in the event of a failure or execute my own batch files. If I want to transfer my complete PingTool configuration to another machine, I have the option of running a backup in order to restore it on the other machine. If I like this better, I can switch to light mode. Repositories are a very useful feature for larger environments. A repository is a central folder for configurations that ensures that all admins have the same basis of configurations. You can recognize a repository config file by the keyword repository. PingTool is generally very well documented. For example, if you want to know how to set up a repository, you can read all about it here. Everything is described in detail. So that's all about the most important PingTool features in a nutshell. Finally, let's switch the London switch back on. I hope this was interesting for you and wish you lots of fun with the new PingTool.